December 14th. I'm Rim.
And I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight we talk about the Barge. Let's do this.
Fuck this show. I quit.
What? It's over?
No, not really.
You sure? We could stop anytime. We could just stop right now.
I really don't feel like doing a show today.
I think part of that is because we started a lot later than we planned on, mostly because we didn't have an idea for the show. And despite the fact that our listeners and me both all wanted another zombie episode, Scott wasn't up to the challenge.
Well, it's not that up to the challenge. It's I'm not motivated. I don't really care.
Hence, you're not up to the challenge of doing another one of these important documentaries that'll someday save lives.
You don't really want to do that episode anyway.
I was all about it. I knew exactly what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, why don't you do the show on your own then, big shot?
See, I've tried to do shows on my own, and I could, but it's usually not as entertaining as having more than one person on the show.
Yeah.
Any one person talking in a podcast for more than about 15 minutes really starts to drag.
Well, it works in video podcasts for some reason, but not the
not for me.
Not the audio ones.
Other than Ask a Ninja, which I don't find funny anymore, probably just due to the fact that they're all pretty much the same, kind of like Strong Bad.
Yep.
I can't stand any video podcast.
Well, I just found a new video podcast today that I thought was pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have time to sit and watch something like that anyway, between all the anime
Yeah,
I'm
they
trying to
definitely
watch.
got to keep it short if they want me to watch. If it's like actually a TV show, forget it. I don't have time to watch TV shows, and I don't have time to watch.
I don't know, if there were a pseudopod equivalent video cast where it was basically just horror fiction acted out, I'd be all about that.
Yeah, but I don't know when I'd watch it. I mean, if there were too many of those, we could just get rid of Netflix and just watch those instead.
That's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
Netflix is a temporary patch in my life because it allows me to get all the movies I want to see at a rate I can watch them legally and for almost no money.
It would be all right, but whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, we were going to do the zombie show. Scott wasn't up to the challenge. Then we didn't have a show. And
We
now
still
we're
don't
here.
have a show.
We've got a show.
We don't have a show.
You can't do 10 shows.
Whatever.
You can't make 10 swags.
No, this weekend, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to make swags.
Well, we're going to start the process of considering the possibility of beginning the production of the first piece of swag.
No, I'm pretty sure we're going to finish the first piece of swag.
How?
What do you mean how?
How are we going to finish the first piece of swag?
We'll just make it.
What design are we going to use? What art is going to go on this?
It won't be too hard.
What are you going to do? But you going to draw something?
It would take me a long time, but I could.
No, you couldn't.
It would just take a long time.
No, you couldn't do it at all.
If given enough time, I could do it.
I don't think given any amount of time
What
you could
takes
do
a
it.
good artist 5 minutes takes me 5 days, but I can.
I don't think you could do in 5 days what Emily or Yuko or any of our artist friends can do.
Well, not in the same amount of time.
No, in 5 days, you couldn't do what they can do in 5 minutes. I'll say that right now, and neither can I.
I could if I didn't sleep and I spent all the time working.
Nah.
Which is what I probably couldn't do that.
I think all you do is eventually wear a hole through the piece of paper as you kept drawing a stick figure, erasing it, and drawing it slightly crooked.
Eventually, it'd be the best damn stick figure the world ever saw. I'd be the stick figure master.
Yeah, the fact is we haven't really picked swag yet, other than the generic swag.
We're working on it.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we
haven't worked on it at all. We've been working on the DVD.
Well, this weekend we got nothing, and next weekend we got nothing, so we're going to be working on
Next
it.
weekend's Christmas. I'll probably be going somewhere.
Are you going to go somewhere?
Probably.
I'll sit here and work on swag.
Yeah. I did put together one thing. The outtakes reel is almost done. I put together every outtake we have from the first season, and sadly there's only one outtake so far from the second season, and it's 4 seconds long.
Well, you know, it's a good thing we're trying to run this episode a little long because we don't got much to say today.
No, just the DVD is going to be pretty cool. You can hear the outtakes. You'll hear, like, when we do interviews, the prep talk and the post talk that you might not have otherwise heard. Most of the outtakes are honestly from the first month of Geeknights, where we didn't know how to deal with what we do when we fuck up. So I'll act out. Say we fuck up now. It's like, and so in the news, the consumer advocacy group, and that's how we deal with things. Back in the day, it'd be like, consumer advocacy, fuck, I fucked up the show. Yeah, we got to totally cut that out. Fuck. And then we'd get going, and we had a bunch of outtakes like that. But now, it's sad to say, but I guess we've become professionals. There's no more outtakes.
Oh, no more outtakes like that.
the only outtakes we ever have.
I think the real thing is that we do stuff that could be considered outtakes, but you don't take it out. So it's not really an outtake if you leave it in the show.
Yeah, well, we've almost cut nothing out of the show anyway at this point.
Yeah.
I cut out, the 20 seconds of silence from when I hit record until one of us says something. And I cut out so are we done? Yeah, we're done at the end. I guess I could save that for a year and then put them all in a row next year for the DVD too.
So we're done? Yeah, we're done.
We're
So
done.
we're done? Yeah, we're done.
So I'm going to bed.
Yep.
Scott, you're making the post. Fuck you. Click.
Great. Okay, so got a news action?
I've got a news from the year I was born.
But that's not news then, is it?
It's not news. It's Geeknights.
Great.
Actually, I bring it up because it's on Dig. It's been all over Dig. It's been all over Fark. It's on the internet again. And the thing is, I have seen this come back on the internet every single year for the past 5 or 6 years at least. And despite that, every time it comes around, a lot of people haven't read it and don't realize the truth. You see, I'll put it very, very briefly. Diamonds are not actually valuable. They're in fact quite common. Their worth is generated solely by restricted supply coupled with intense marketing. The primary market of diamonds is the United States because the rest of the world long ago realized that they're not really worth it.
Well, most of the rest of the world.
Yeah. I mean, Africa actually knows exactly how much they're worth.
Yeah. They know that they're worth a lot because they can sell them for a lot of money to idiots in this country.
Yeah.
But yeah, diamonds are aplenty. You can go around the world, and if you add up all the diamonds, there's lots of them. There's a lot more diamonds than there is gold or platinum or silver or anything. I mean, there's shit tons of these things, and they're not worth much. But De Beers is one company that gets a lot of diamonds, and they put most of them in a vault, thus artificially reducing the supply. And then they heavily marketed them for many years so that not getting a diamond is unthinkable. If you're getting married or engaged or anything like that, you must get one. Therefore, they have artificially increased the demand a bajillion-fold. And here you have it, a bunch of idiots with too much money spending them on useless common rocks.
I mean, quite seriously, if you look at the history of diamond purchasing in the United States and compare it to when advertising efforts of De Beers began and the cartel and everything, there's pretty much a 1-to-1 correlation between them marketing diamonds and diamonds selling. And before that, there was no tradition of diamonds being used for much.
Yeah, well, you think in the 1800s people bought diamonds like when they got married? There was none of that shit.
I mean, they might have bought a really, really cheap diamond, like a poorly cut, really cheap thing that maybe cost them a week's salary, if that. And even then, most people didn't.
Yeah, but this whole wedding thing, the whole diamond wedding ring thing.
It's your special day.
It's
your special day.
That tradition isn't even 100 years old. Not even.
Yeah, I don't want to go through the whole thing. I highly recommend, if you don't know much about the diamond industry or you've ever considered purchasing a diamond, that you read this article. Because I can safely say that I'll probably never in my life purchase a diamond on purpose.
I mean, if I really...
Unless it's in a computer motherboard.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I really needed a shiny, useless rock, I would buy one that was manufactured and much cheaper.
Yeah.
'Cause then you could choose the color.
Remember, scientists can make diamonds straight up. You could just make them in a machine.
And we're not talking about like making something that looks like a diamond and feels like a diamond but isn't a diamond. We're talking about making a diamond. It comes out, it is a diamond.
In fact, not only is it a diamond, but it's perfect. It is absolutely flawless. It is better than any diamond you could ever find in the ground. You can make it whatever color you want. You can make it whatever size you want. Cut it however you want. It'll have no imperfections whatsoever.
Yeah, they have a machine that they can just put some stuff in it, carbon basically, wait, and out will come a yellow diamond the size of your fist.
Well, not quite your fist.
Well, they could if they wanted to, but they don't. But I'm sure if they wanted to and they tried hard enough, they can make one the size of your fist.
Well, it really depends on the method. There are like 4 different machines that can make diamonds, and they all work in different ways, and they're all pretty cool. If you ever are bored, I highly recommend you read up about artificial diamonds and artificial gems.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of companies. I just don't remember any of their names right now.
Gemesis, I believe, is one of them.
That's one, yeah. There's a whole bunch of them, though. I don't think that's the best one. There's some better ones.
Yeah, but really, if you don't know, read this article, and hopefully you'll realize that purchasing a diamond is not an investment, and it's not worth even a quarter of the money you paid for it.
Oh, the other thing, the only last thing we didn't say about diamonds is that a lot of them, when you buy them, down the chain, the money is actually going to very bad people.
Yeah, I mean, even aside from the fact that it's a poor investment and that they're not actually valuable, a lot of diamonds are pretty much mined solely based on human suffering.
Well, they have a system where, like, diamonds are labeled and tracked, and they have certificates and things, so you can buy one and be sure that yours isn't an evil one.
Yeah, you know where that came from? The diamond industry noticed that people were starting to argue against diamonds because they called them blood diamonds, the diamonds that basically poor Africans were forced to mine to death.
Yeah, you know when people say conflict diamonds? That's what they're talking about.
So the diamond industry decided to start making certified diamonds that they guarantee to us weren't mined in under those conditions and for those reasons.
Yeah.
And they sell them for more money.
Yep, they do, but if they are certified, you can be pretty sure that they're not blood diamonds, but if they're not certified, probably some slave in Africa was treated poorly and was forced to dig these diamonds out from the ground by an evil warlord.
Who then used the money to buy AK-47s.
Used the money to buy AK-47s for terrorists, and you just paid for those AK-47s.
Oh, yeah. We just called a bunch of people terrorists.
In exchange, you got a useless rock.
Now, it's not totally useless. I mean, you can cut small amounts of glass with it.
Yes, but you can get a glass cutter for like $10 at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Probably less than $10.
This is a much more expensive glass cutter.
And
far less effective.
Far less effective than the Home Depot version. Anyway, I got some geek news here, kind of.
Geek news?
Kind of.
I'm curious.
So the Detroit Tigers, they have a relief pitcher named Joel Zumaya. And last year, you know, the Detroit Tigers are in the World Series. And before you get to the World Series, if you're in the American League like the Tigers are, you have to play in the American League Championship Series, which they won. But he missed out on like 3 games of the American League Championship Series last year.
Why, Scott, did he miss out on 3 games of the American...
It hurt his team, and they ended up not winning the World Series. You know, who knows if it would have turned things around if he was playing in those games.
Oh, a Michigan non-hockey team choking at the last minute?
Yeah. But anyway, he didn't play in the games because his wrist hurt.
Huh, from pitching too much, I imagine?
Yeah, that's what you would think. No one even questioned it at the time.
Maybe it was,
the World Series was months ago.
Maybe he was training and he hurt himself. He threw one too hard. He was stretched wrong. He was lifting weights and he dropped one.
Well, the first thing that's pretty sad is that he's younger than we are. He's 22.
That's like when I see F1 drivers and realize that they're actually young, too.
Yeah, we're older than Fernando Alonso, the world champion of Formula One, who's got $1 billion.
Or the video game pianist, when we were all hanging out with him, we're like, how old are you? And the number he told us was real sad to us.
It was very sad.
What do we do? We're 25. We do a podcast.
Yep.
Wait, no, I'm only 24.
Yeah, for like...
I'm still 24.
For like 4 weeks.
I am possibly 1/3 to maybe 1/4 of my life past.
Well, think about it. In 4 weeks, your insurance is going to go down.
My insurance is already pretty much nothing.
It'll become negative then.
I pay like $10 a month for car insurance.
Anyway, his wrist injury went away, though, and he was fine in the World Series. But just now, he had discovered the cause of his wrist injury. He played too much Guitar Hero.
Now, perhaps a month ago, I would have said, what? That's stupid. But having finally gotten a chance to play Guitar Heroes, I have to say that I would probably be in a similar situation if I was a star pitcher for the Detroit Tigers and had access to both Guitar Heroes and the World Series.
Plus, he's a relief pitcher, right? And he's a baseball player, so he's got mad monies. What's he doing when he sits around for the first 7 innings of the game before it's his turn to do anything?
Well, after snorting the cocaine off of the hookers behind...
You play some fucking Guitar Heroes, bitch.
Man, Guitar Heroes is all shades of awesome, and it was the thing that pushed us over the line of buying a PS2.
Yeah, well, I think the other thing was I can get one for free with my Sony points.
Yeah, and then I'll buy...
Check this out. I've only ever had one credit card in my life. I got it in sophomore year of college, you know, because I wanted to buy stuff online. I didn't want to, like, get a line of credit and, you know, buy things without paying for them. I didn't care about that. I had plenty of money. Well, plenty of money for what, you know, I could afford. But... I couldn't buy anything online without a credit card. I didn't have one. So RIM says, you know, you can just go get one. You just fill out a form online and they'll mail you one.
Yeah, because I had a credit card since I was like 14, so.
Yep. So I went online and I said, which one will I get? And I pretty much went to the first credit card website that came up, and there it was, the Sony card. For as much as we hate Sony, I have had a Sony credit card for like 6 years. It's the only credit card I've ever had.
And so far, we've gotten a cheap TV and now a free PS2 out of it.
Yeah, it's working out okay.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. It's like I go to the Nintendo World Store. I don't own a single Sony video game system, and I buy a Wii with the Sony card.
Why didn't you buy a PS3? You could have flipped it on eBay for zero profit.
Well, I would have also gotten like let's see, if I bought a PS3, 600 times 3, 18. I would have gotten like $180 worth of Sony points.
Huh. So that would have effectively been $180 off a PS3.
Something like that, yeah. But you know what's so much better deal? If I buy a plasma, like a Sony LCD TV that's like $2,000 with my Sony card. Oh, yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Because we don't need a TV like that, and I don't have $2,000.
Yeah, you do. I saw your accounts. I looked at your finances a couple days ago. You've got that much money, and so do I.
Yeah, but I don't have that much money for an LCD TV.
What are you going to spend that money on? Rent, food, that stuff's... Things of the day.
I got an awesome thing of the day.
Oh, do you now?
I do.
Well, what is it?
Well, in and of it itself, it is not so awesome. You see, what it is a trailer for an upcoming documentary called Nerdcore for Life. Someone is making a documentary about nerdcore hip-hop, and this is the trailer for said documentary.
Now, that's either going to be hilarious and awesome or self-aggrandizing and just totally lame.
I don't really care about the actual documentary or the trailer. What I do care about is that when you watch this trailer, you can see examples of every geekery that, we're into. Like, there's DDR playing. They're playing a game of Arkham Horror.
Keep playing.
There's some people
Keep
role-playing. There's some people LARPing. There's people cosplaying. There's people reading manga. There's people playing video games. It's everything. So it's just, you don't even need the audio on when you watch this thing. You just watch it, and it's this great montage or mosaic of geekeries that is quite impressive to behold and awe-inspiring.
All right. So in Japan, they like to pull pranks on people as parts of pretty much all their daytime TV, as far as I can tell. It seems like every show on TV in Japan, at least shows that end up being put on YouTube over here in the U.S., are either anime or talk shows with guys dressed up as women pulling pranks on people and yelling at famous rock stars.
And hard gay.
And hard gay, who's the category all by himself.
He is indeed.
Anyway.
Say.
Now, the other thing I've noticed about Japan over the years is that you can pull pranks that border on sadistic, and yet there's no problem with this. You don't get sued. I think almost every prank...
What was that one where the porta potty, the toilet seat came up out of the
That's
roof?
my favorite prank ever. I like that even more than the skeleton on the motorcycle.
No, I think the skeleton on the motorcycle is the best one.
Vile con Dios, blah, 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 blah.
Vámonos, blah, blah, blah.
Vamos! No, but I think the toilet one is probably the funniest to me.
No, I don't know.
But this one here is not only... I'm pretty sure this is real. Like, they actually did this to some guy. Because otherwise, the guy acting like the guy who they got in this prank is a great actor. Because that is the perfect representation of the, oh shit, I'm going to die face.
Basically, you want me to... Okay.
They tricked this guy. I don't know how. I don't understand Japanese. And I heard like one or two words that I might have understood. But I've gathered that they tricked him into getting into this cab. Like, take this cab, we'll take you where we need to go for whatever. Like, they tricked him. So he gets in this cab, and he takes off.
He's not wearing a seatbelt because he's a dumbass.
Taxi driver is driving a little crazily. And there's a hidden camera in the taxi, so we can see exactly what's going on in there. Furthermore, there are cameras along the route where you can see what the taxi is doing. Right away, it peels out, starts drifting around, spinning out. The guy's starting to really freak out. Then...
I'd freak out, would you?
Then he really starts going fast. Like, really fast. And there's these construction guys in the middle of the road. And the guy in the back's like, pointing like, there's construction guys. There's construction. There's construction. And he just, like, bowls right where he's about to hit him. And he knocks the car up at an angle and drives on two wheels for a while. Which, it can be done in many cars.
I saw this great video the other day. Oh, man. If I'd make it a thing today, maybe next week, of some guys in Iraq stole an SUV. And they popped it up onto 2 tires and were driving it around. And I saw that video and I said, "There's nothing wrong with Iraq. It's all good over there. Everything's cool."
See, my general philosophy on people is that while a lot of people are really kind of dumb and a lot of people are really kind of mean, in general, there are cool people everywhere in the world. Even in the shittiest part of Darfur, there's some kid who plays punch for punch with this other kid and just wails on him.
Yeah.
There's a kid who does some hot foot somewhere. There's always cool kids, no matter how bad the situation is.
Yep. You just watch City of God if you don't believe it.
Oh, City of God, which is a semi, almost kind of maybe based on a somewhat true story.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, so he pops it back down, and the guy's freaking out. And they have this conversation, which I think amounts to, you should probably put on your seatbelts. And the guy puts on his seatbelts. So then the cab continues going. And I can't really ruin it. Let's just say that all hell breaks loose, and it ends with them actually crashing the cab.
Yeah, well, they drive to sort of this pre-set up area with all sorts of
With
hazards.
Explosions. The car catches on fire. The doors fall off.
Yeah, they had some field, and they set up a bunch of hazards in the field, and the guy takes the car to the field and drives through all the hazards, and the car's on fire and shit. For real. Like, really on fire.
The guy's totally freaking out. And,
as should be expected.
And meanwhile, the cab driver's driving totally legit, just like... The
cab driver is clearly a professional driver and should drive some awesome race cars or something. Or maybe he's a professional like movie stunt driver, which is just as good.
Yeah. I don't know, though, knowing Japan's record in F1.
No.
Super Aguri.
Oh.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's what's his name from Super Aguri.
No, it's not. I know what he looks like. What
does he look like?
A little tiny Japanese man.
Okay.
Who's much younger than that guy.
But see, this is what I love about Japan, that you can do this sort of thing and you can get away with it and you can film it and you can put it on TV. If that happened in America, I think everyone involved would have been sued, and at least a few people would be in jail right now.
Probably. Definitely lots of suing going on, and there was no way it would get on TV or anything. It really kind of sucks.
Plus, it does seem like in America, you see a lot of ads for like prank videos, and now you see them on YouTube a lot. All the best pranks seem to come out of Europe, South America, specifically from Mexico and Japan, however.
You know what else I saw today? You know a hobo fight?
Yeah, bum fights, you mean?
Bum fights, that's right.
Which was actually pretty horrible.
Well, it is, but I don't deny the guy the right to make it. So apparently he was on Dr. Phil, right? So
really?
So I watched this clip where Dr. Phil has the guy on, and he says, "This is terrible." But
wait, the guy who made it or the guy who fought in it, like the main hobo?
What do you mean the main hobo?
There's one hobo that was kind of like the poster child of bum fights.
Oh, no. This is the guy like the president, the founder of bum fights.
Wow, that's quite a life if your job title is, I was the president and founder of bum fights.
He seemed like actually a pretty smart guy.
Well, because it's the same idea we had. He just didn't take it far enough.
Yeah.
The barge on international waters with the helicopter escape and the gladiatorial arena.
Yep, he just paid bums $20 to pull their teeth out on video. And then
we should do a
sell
show
the
on
tapes.
that. We'll outline our idea, and maybe someone will do it. In fact,
we could do that show right now.
We could, because that could be our first contest. Whoever does that.
Anyway, so Dr. Phil shows this he disparages the guy, and then he shows like a video clip that explains to everyone and shows them like what bum fights is and everything. And then
wait, if you don't know from the name of bum fights what bum fights is, you've got issues.
Yeah. And then, right, the guy's sitting there and he's getting ready to talk, and then Dr. Phil's just like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Go away."
What?
Yeah, basically, like, I was actually kind of pissed because while, the bum fight guy is obviously taking advantage of bums, which is not so good, to make lots of money off of them, and he gives them like $20 when he should be giving them a lot more. Dr. Phil was just kind of like, yeah, I don't even it seemed like Dr. Phil didn't have an argument against the guy because the guy did seem smart and he did seem like he was going to successfully hold his own against Dr. Phil. But Dr. Phil was just like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Sort of like, I don't want to promote whatever you're selling, even though he just did 2 seconds ago. And then the guy, the only words he gets in is, what are you yelling at me for taking advantage of people? All you do is drag people up on your TV show and show their problems to the world, taking advantage of them. And I was like, hell's yeah.
Oh, maximum burnage.
And then Dr. Phil's just like, no, go away. I don't want to talk to you. Because I don't think he had an argument. I think he
Probably not.
I think he saw himself in that guy.
Well, it
got upset.
It reminds me very much of the
classic.
And
he definitely planned to not talk to the guy in the first place.
Yeah.
People
do that all. I mean, remember Captain? Shut up!
Exactly.
Shut up!
I think they realized they saw this bum fight thing and they wanted to put it down in their show. But then when they actually found out the guy in charge was semi-intelligent, they realized they couldn't argue with him. So they said, "I got it. We'll bring him on the show and then just tell him we don't want to talk and make security make him leave." Ha ha ha.
Yeah, that sure showed him.
Yeah.
So today, we weren't sure what to do the show on. Not because we don't have enough ideas, because we were tired.
You don't want to talk about our idea with the barge?
You want to do that?
No, I don't know. We could.
I think we could. We could do a show on the barge idea.
Oh, great.
You want to?
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
No, not it.
It's all you.
Not it.
I'm out. All right. See, we were going to do the zombie show. We were all set to do the much requested.
We were not all set to
I
do
was.
No, you were.
I was all set. I could do the zombie show now. Anytime you come up to me and you ask me to do the next part of the zombie series, I'm ready. I can just do it.
No, you're just all talk. You wouldn't be saying that if you actually had to do it.
But I'm all set to do it.
No, you're not.
I was all set to do it. In fact, I suggested we do it.
No. Stop trying to what's it called?
Called what?
Pander to all the listeners. Be like, trying to get them all for you and against me or whatever.
But I'm really ready to do the zombie show.
Nah, fuck you.
You think I can't talk for another 40 minutes about zombies on short notice?
I don't think you remember the stuff that we... See, the thing is...
The first show, we talked about intelligence gathering.
But there are things that we said in the first show, that were specifically saying what we're going to say in the second show, and I forget what those things are.
No, we outlined different shows we would do in the future, like the different segments we need to cover.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to listen to the first show again before doing the second one.
Nah.
Yeah.
We don't listen to Geeknights.
I do sometimes, rarely.
I listen to it when we interview someone.
I didn't even listen to the most recent one.
I did on the way to work.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, if you didn't listen to yesterday's Geeknights last night, it was pretty good.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah.
You want to listen to that one?
All right. So I was going to say, well, your options are, and lay them out, but then I realized there isn't actually an audience here, unless you count Kira Yamato, Edward Elric, and Alan Shazar, Luigi and Toad and Bato, and Lupin and Tycho sitting on my desk looking at me. And Foo's down there.
Oh, no.
And a puppy, and Fujiko.
You got too much shit on your desk.
I got a lot of stuff on my desk.
Okay.
You want to talk about the barge?
I guess.
Or do we just keep mentioning the barge and just keep talking, and don't actually ever put it in the show?
No, let's do the barge because it'll be quick and I can go to bed sooner.
All right. Now, before we begin, I would like to say that if you are curious as to whether or not we are serious about this idea, you shouldn't need to ask that question, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Now, we often come up with crazy and sometimes less crazy ideas for ways to make money, start businesses, not have to go to work 9 to 5, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind that if we had enough capital to just do one of our not crazy ideas, we'd probably be rich already. But that's how money works. If you have money, it's trivial to get more money.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have money, not so easy to get more money.
No, not as easy anyway.
Not without some form of trickery.
Well, you can always go into debt to get a bunch of money, and hopefully, if it works out, you'll be able to pay it back.
Yeah, but calculating that, there's no way I could maintain my lifestyle if I borrowed that much money.
Nope, definitely not.
And I'm not going to give up my lifestyle because it's pretty cool.
Yep. So, one of the crazy ideas we've come up with over the years is the barge.
Now, the barge was spawned in great detail over the course of about 4 hours one night at RIT, and then expounded upon over the next several weeks until the idea was solid.
Basically, what it comes down to is people like to see people fight.
I mean, this goes back to even like ancient Rome. What did people like to do? They like to see chariot races in the hippodrome. They like to fight with each other in the stands of the hippodrome. And they like to watch gladiators kill people and or animals.
Yep. People like hockey. People like football. When a fight breaks out at baseball or basketball or anything like that, where it's, not common, people are all standing up going, yeah, hit him, yeah.
Now, bear in mind...
Boxing is popular. Even pro wrestling, where people pretend to fight, it's very popular.
That we don't want to bring animals into this. This is just people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see a guy versus a puppy.
Well, I'd like to see a lion eat a guy.
I only would like to see a fight with animals if the animal has an actual chance of winning.
Yeah.
I'll say this very
a guy
openly.
versus a squirrel is not good, but a guy versus a monkey, that's awesome.
If a bullfight if whenever a bull gets a bullfighter in a bullfight, like actually gets him, I cheer because those bulls are put through a lot. It's really not worth it. And those guys totally deserve it.
That's my only problem with bullfighting is that it's not actually fighting the bull. It's just like the ceremony of killing a bull. It should be fucking fight the bull can win.
And if the bull wins, you give him however many lady bulls he wants and you put him out to pasture for the rest of his life.
Well, no, he has to fight again to become the champion.
Well, once he's the champion, you put him out to pasture and let him enjoy it.
Okay. Just one fight doesn't make you the champion, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't make him fight too much.
It doesn't matter if you're a person or a bull or a giant. You got to fight more than one fight to be the grand champion. You get to win the grand prize.
I just picture this bull with...
The idea of the barge. Step 1, acquire a barge.
See, remember that this idea...
is crazy.
Among the front row crew is fairly legendary. And in fact, people that we haven't talked to in a long time, if we make contact with them again, will almost invariably bring up, so how's the barge coming?
I don't know. I don't remember anyone ever bringing that up.
I've been asked that in the last 6 months twice.
Wow. Okay.
By people who are still in Rochester.
All right.
Or in the Rochester area.
So, you get this barge. You put the barge in international waters where anything goes.
Now, before you put the barge out there, you have to prepare it. Basically, we need a large arena area that has pretty much on the main deck of the barge. It'll have, we can put obstacles in it or not. It'll be, we can customize it, but it's a big arena and there are low fences along the edges. So it's not easy to fall out, but yet you can throw someone over the edge if you want to.
Yeah.
Second to that, we have a very secure hold where we can barricade weapons and barricade people and ourselves in case things go awry.
Yeah, any combatants of any sort need to not be near each other before the actual time of fighting, because they might try to poison each other or something like that before the fight to guarantee victory.
Yep.
You can't have any of that. Everything's got to be, up and up.
More importantly, they cannot be near us.
Yes.
I do not want a 700-pound man with the power to crush my skull with his pinky finger to be in the room next to me when I am holding the millions of dollars that he wants.
No, we'll have a special, you didn't read that volume of Death Note yet, style way to exchange money with these guys without them being able to get us.
Yeah. Congratulations, you won. Go to the back to get your money. Kick, sploosh.
Exactly. So, the next step...
Well, we also need a raised area, which is basically where, if this were Roman times, the emperor would sit. Replace the emperor with myself, Scott, and maybe 10 people who have paid us a lot of money for the privilege of watching these fights live as opposed to over the feed.
And all four sides, HD TV cameras.
And last and certainly not least, a helipad with enough room for a helicopter that is large.
2 helicopters.
Yeah, 2 helicopters just in case.
And speedboats.
Ready for us to escape should the worst come to worst, meaning pretty much anything that can happen.
Yeah, all right. Step 2. We got the barge, we got the helicopters, we got people on it, we got everything set up. Next, we go and we find people who are sane and willing to fight to the death. Then we get them to sign contracts saying, yes, I am sane. Yes, I am willing to fight to the death.
I mean, we'll go straight up. We don't want to take advantage of people. We will have psychologists on hand to evaluate people to make sure that they are of their right mind.
It's no fun if we get like some nutty bum who's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. It's only cool if it's, someone who's like a serious fighter, who's going to, actually fight and not just be kind of stupid.
Yeah, we don't
and
want...
if they really want to do it.
And we don't want someone who's coerced into it, like a mafia that forces a guy in to try to win money for him, or like a single dad who's hard on his luck and really needs the money. We don't want that. We want people with no family, no friends, who are badass and willing to put their lives on the line for fame and fortune and actually enjoy this sort of thing.
Yeah, we want like a bounty hunter who thinks he's so badass, or we want like some kung fu master who thinks no one can take him.
Like that
shit
key
like
guy?
That. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, the kind of people who, if fight clubs were real, would be in them.
Mm-hmm. We got to get those people. We got to get them to agree. We bring them out to the barge. We set up a little tournament, and they fight to the death.
Yeah.
Or to, when they
or
give
to
up.
surrender. I mean, if you surrender, then it's okay. We'll protect you.
Yeah, but it'll be real fighting on video, which we will sell for lots of money on the internet.
Now, they'll all be different. Some of them, they'll be wearing loincloths, and they'll fight in the old wrestling style. Some of them, knives. One of them will probably be bring whatever you can carry onto the barge. That isn't a gun.
Well, we don't want any guns and rockets, because then they can get us.
See, the first rule is no explosives, no guns.
Yeah, arrows are cool.
Yeah.
We'll have a little, Pope shield, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, because not only do we not want to die, but we don't want our rich benefactors to die.
No, those rich benefactors who are paying a lot of money to sit on that barge and watch people fight to the death live.
See, the other key aspect of this is the satellite uplink, the live pay-per-view broadcasts.
Oh, great.
That will be secure. I mean, it'll basically, the way we would do it would be broadcast all over the earth via satellites or various possibly illegal radio waves. Doesn't really matter how we do it. And we'd encrypt it, and you could pay us for a decryption key. Or another way we could do it is simply sell DVDs.
I was figuring we would just sell DVDs. That's the easiest way.
I don't know. I think there's a certain appeal in people seeing it live.
Yeah.
Of course, the biggest money would probably still come from very rich people who would pay to be helicoptered out there to watch it live, do whatever they want.
Eventually, we might need like a second barge with like a jumbotron. Because there'll just be too many people who want to, and then we'll charge like $1 billion to sit on the barge with us.
I don't think we could charge $1 billion.
We could charge $1 billion.
For $1 billion, you could start your own barge.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have our bums on the barge. Nah.
See, the key is we'd really have to get a lot of showmanship involved. We'd have to hire some experts in this field to, make sure that the drama is there, the fights are good, make sure it doesn't drag.
Yeah, we definitely have to build personalities around the guys who don't die.
Yeah, I mean, we need people like the people in Running Man.
Exactly. That's a good one, Running Man. Yeah.
Exactly like that, except unlike Running Man, we won't be faking it.
Yeah, and unlike Running Man, it won't be people who are perfectly innocent that we arrested and forced to be in Running Man. It'll be people who want to be in Running Man versus people who want to be in Running Man.
Yeah, I want the kind of people who come up and say, "Oh yeah, fight to the death."
Yep, that's what we're looking for.
Now, of course, there are numerous logistical concerns. First and foremost, pirates. International waters are a scary place.
So we're going to have to hire Blackwater to guard our barge.
Which, you know what, isn't that expensive.
No, not really. Not considering the money that we'd probably make by selling all those DVDs.
And even if not Blackwater, I'm sure we could hire some security firm with a couple of small gunboats, maybe a small cruiser or something, just to go around us, make sure no pirates come.
All right, problem number 2, navies.
Well, I can't imagine, what navy is going to spend its resources to go out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, well, probably the Pacific Ocean, and stop us from having a bunch of dumb guys fight to the death.
Well, if someone was really pissed at us for what we were doing, they might send a Navy or a Coast Guard out to bother us.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the countries I could see coming to bother us would probably rather ignore us or possibly sell our thing to their people.
Yeah, some countries would, but if we got too close to the U.S., even if we were technically in international waters, I don't think that they would have a problem, plus a lot of people in the U.S. would protest and try to get them to do this, to send, a Coast Guard boat to shoot at us or something, to make us move or, try to fuck us up.
Yeah. Now, there are ways around that. We could
do it in Antarctica, and it would be awesome because they would be freezing cold while they were...
No, it would just be two guys in, triple fat goose coats with hats and mittens on, kind of patting at each other for an hour.
That would be the best. We got to do that. It's only in Antarctica, the barge. It's an ice barge.
That'd be a decent fight. We have one fight where...
They're just patting each other while... It's like you could take the clothes off, but will you freeze before you kill the other guy?
Yeah, and even if you take yours off, how are you going to punch through his padding? Can't even snap his neck.
And no knives or anything.
No knives.
Maybe I think it might come down to teeth.
I don't know.
If I was in that fight, I would grow my nails out and get them like doubly thick.
How are you gonna get your nails doubly thick?
I don't know. There's got to be ways to make your nails thicker. Or
Yeah, there's
something.
diseases that do it.
There you go.
I think the best way to win that fight is to cheat.
How would you cheat? Sneak a knife in?
Sneak a stiletto in with poison on the tip,
Ooh.
or a syringe.
Hey, you know what? A good way to cheat is to like have like a poison tooth, like a tooth where like it's a fake tooth. It breaks, poison comes out. Just bite the other guy.
You'd probably poison yourself.
No, because the tooth would pop out of your mouth after you bit the guy and stay in the other guy.
But you have to bite through the padding.
Well, you could bite him in like the nose or the face.
The face will be covered.
Then can he see?
Ski mask, ski goggles.
Oh, you could get that off.
Yeah, but then he got yours off, and then he pokes you in the eye.
I'd poke him in the eye.
But he poked you in the eye first while you were trying to bite him.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is why we're not the fighters. We are the Don Kings, if you will.
Yeah, we're the corrupt emperors.
Exactly.
But in terms of navies and all that, we'd really have to. I mean, any navy that came after us in international waters, hopefully we could appeal to the UN.
Yeah, the UN's really gonna protect some guys who are having fights to the death on their barge.
Well, you see, the thing is, they should, because it's international waters. You can do whatever you want out there.
Even fight to the death.
Yeah. I mean, everyone saw that episode of The Simpsons.
We're going to broadcast Major League Baseball games with only
Implied oral consent and not express written consent. So, aside from the political issue of navies, which we have some solutions for, but it would really depend on what maybe we could make a deal with, like, North Korea.
Just make a deal with Sealand.
Sealand's not so powerful. They don't have so much of a navy. They've got, like, one boat.
They have a helicopter.
If anything, we get some country to back us. Or at least to provide protection. Or maybe we get letters of marque.
The letters of marque.
And then we become pirates and forget the barge altogether. The barge is... See, this is the beauty of the idea. One, we have the illegal fights, which the first time we do them...
Well, they're not illegal if they're in international waters.
Well, they're illegal in all the countries of origin.
Yeah, yep.
But we do them, and the first time, people probably wouldn't realize where we were or what we were doing until it was too late. By the time the Navy gets there, the fights are over, the barge is empty, we've left with our money.
We need to buy a new barge next year.
Even if we didn't want to bother with the fights at all, and it was a total scam, once the rich people show up, we just hold them hostage. Take their money, or we tell them...
It's actually all a trick. All those guys that they thought were going to fight each other to the death are actually just really strong guys who are going to hold these rich people hostage.
Or better, the rich people have to fight their way out. They either have to buy or fight their way off the barge, just like the second chapter of Shadowrun for the SNES.
Well, it's sort of like...
You can fight in the arena, or you can give me a bunch of money.
No. The
what?
The most dangerous game.
I remember reading that in like...
I think I read that in middle school and high school like 3 times.
I read it in middle school.
It was assigned in 3 different classes.
Read it in high school, and then it was assigned again in college.
It was assigned in college.
Yeah, in that bullshit writing and lit class that they make everyone at RIT take no matter what.
Oh, wow. Was it assigned? Maybe it was.
It wasn't, yeah. I didn't read it because...
middle school, high school, college. What the fuck is up with that story? The teachers must just freaking love that thing.
Well, the lesson that was used for in 2 of the 3 instances where I had to read it was kind of this real literature versus escapist literature or something to that effect. And they were like, is this escapist or not? And the answer always given was, yes, it's escapist because the end isn't actually in any way profound. It's just a twist. The argument was much greater than that, and I didn't really care because
I don't care either. Yeah, has anyone out there read Most Dangerous Game or been assigned Most Dangerous Game in a class? Or something?
with the repast for the hounds at the end and such.
Yeah,
it was the most comfortable bed he'd ever slept in.
That's where I learned about the that trap where we got a tree and it swings down and then it smashes you together with the other tree. What's that trap called where the 2 trees come down on the rope?
I don't remember what it's called, but I learned about it from that book as well.
Yep, okay. Short story.
Anyway, so see, now we've got not only could we, say we have the fights anyway. So now we make the money from the fights, we make the money from the ransoms, and maybe we just kill those people anywhere, make them fight, and then we sell the special edition of, here's Bill Gates having to fight this dude to the death.
Yeah. Here's Bill Gates getting eaten by a lion.
Or-
people really wanted to see what's his face get killed by a stingray, even though it wasn't real. Well, I mean, it was real, but even though it wasn't on purpose, like it was.
Well,
an
there was that
accident.
one video that wasn't it, but it was fake, and it was obviously fake after you watch it. But so many people clicked on it on YouTube because they thought it was the real thing.
Yeah, so imagine if we actually have like a video, like here's a dude being eaten by a lion for real.
Plus, imagine if Bill Gates wins.
Oh man.
Oh, that not only would that DVD sell for so much money.
Well, I mean, there was just a video the other day of like an alligator eating some dude's arm that I saw, and that was all over YouTube.
I don't know, I was more impressed with the video of the guy who set his pants on fire and then screamed about it and
Well,
wanted help.
he did it to himself, so that's different.
Yeah, but people still want to see that stuff.
They do. It gets a lot of visits.
Now, the other concern, and this is an important one, is how to protect ourselves from the very dangerous people that are all over this barge. The answer is that we're...
I have 4 words.
Well-
Guns. Lots of guns.
You see, one, we're in this raised platform with some sort of mesh screen or maybe a Pope shield.
Pope
2,
shield.
mounted right there, and probably mounted on the other side of the boat as well, would be probably a Vulcan cannon.
Oh yeah. That's way too much, but oh yeah.
I learned from Advanced Wars that if you point a Vulcan cannon at a human being, that's the end.
There's nothing.
I mean, I don't care how many infantry you have, one Vulcan.
Just turns you all into like pudding.
Well, unless they have mechs, but we don't need to worry about mechs.
No, I don't think they're gonna bring mechs out.
They're not going to bring... If a guy shows up...
The Vulcan cannon probably work against navies too, because they don't expect us to have that. And like they'll send up a little navy boat. And we'll
No,
go,
they'll send up a Coast Guard speedboat. Like, what are you guys up to?
turn it into dust.
Well, you know what? They'll probably...
I don't know. I don't know if I'd shoot at the Coast Guard.
Oh, you mean they'll probably listen to reason.
You mean? Oh god. A funny joke. No, they'll listen to money also and bribes.
Oh, that's right. We can bribe people because we'll have all this money.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll also listen to reason.
But yeah, crowd control is key because we don't want any trouble
No,
other than the trouble that we're expecting.
the on purpose trouble, not the accident trouble.
Of course, there's also the issue of how do we go back home after it's over? Because there's probably going to be some sort of warrant for our arrest in America.
We
if
live
come
on the
back.
barge.
Well, either that or we don't actually reveal who we are.
Dun dun dun.
We wear those cool. We dress like in black shrouds, and we wear those cool masks with the long hook noses.
Well, now that we've made this podcast, I think the idea is shot. Then, isn't it?
It could conceivably be 2 other guys. We'll be like the Blue Man Group. So one day it's me and Scott. One day it's Alex and one of our listeners. One day it's my mom and Scott's mom. You don't know who's doing it.
Somehow, I think that if it happened, and then someone found this podcast describing exactly the thing that's happening, they would know it was us.
Hence,
When they come to look for us, and we're not there, and they notice that we've left the country, yeah.
well, 1, stunt doubles. 2, in the spirit of the second most recent Perry Bible Fellowship entitled Robin Hood, I hereby announce the first Geeknights contest. If you successfully form the barge and profit from it and give us 50% of the gross profit, well, the net profits, will be nice, the net profits, you win.
What do they win?
They win.
Awesome. Go be a winner.
I'll give him this little statue of Edward Elric that I got in front of me.
Oh, man, that's so worth it. They don't make those things anymore. Actually, I think they still do. They're like $5. But no, that's so rare and valuable. You totally want it.
Well, I'm not giving him my Bato.
No, you can't give them
Can't give a
Bato.
Bato.
No way. They'd have to like trade your whole barge for that.
And I'll include this lovely Ubuntu CD.
Because those aren't free.
No, they're not.
No.
Ubuntu costs a lot of money, actually. You'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I get this torn up check
Oh.
made out to
cash for one barge.
Actually, this check is made out to void, and it's ripped in half.
You can't buy 10 barges.
You can't void 10 checks.
It's show over.
No. This has been Geek Nights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music.
Be sure to visit our website at www.frontrowcrew.com, where you'll find show notes, links, our awesome forum, a link to our Frapper map, and links to all the RSS feeds.
We say feeds plural because Geeknights airs 4 nights a week, covering 4 different brands of geekery. Mondays are science and technology. Tuesdays, we have video games, board games, and RPGs. Wednesdays are anime, manga, comic nights. And Thursdays are the catch-alls for various rants and tomfoolery.
You can send us feedback by email to geeknights@frontrowcrew.com. Or you can send audio feedback via Odeo. Just click the link that says Send Me an Audio on the right side of our website.
If you like what you hear, you can catch the last 100 episodes in iTunes or in your favorite podcatcher. For the complete archives, visit the website, which has everything.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 2.5 license. This means you can do whatever you want with it as long as you give us credit, don't make money, and share it in kind. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.